Hi, my name is Bryce Wynn. I am a graduate student at the University of Oklahoma. I am currently in the Organizational Leadership Master's Program, and I am going to present a business challenge, my Unit 8 Analytics Research Proposal presentation. The business challenge is an employee retention issue within the manufacturing department. The manufacturing department demands are high at the Flagstaff Flag Company, as the company makes its money making a large amount of flags. With fewer employees, the company cannot produce the number of flags they need at the appropriate rate to meet current demands. The who, what, when, where, and why of the business problem. The vice president of our retention department has noticed a 20% drop in employee retention. High retention rates are important to maintain the production rate. This affects not only the company's productivity, but its profitability in present and possibly in the future, which will pose a threat to the company's overall success. Possible future challenges are low employee retention could lead to more adverse effects such as low profitability, low employee satisfaction, and an inability to meet demands. Analytics team members needed. The company is in need of a few valuable employees to help address the retention rate drop. The first employee the company will need is the vice president of the retention department, as they will have the best overall look at the problem and be able to gather more information from their team. They will also have the most experience in dealing with employee retention issues, and they will have the best overall skills to assist the company in solving its employee retention issues within the manufacturing department. Next, the company will need a minimum of 2 HR officers, as they will be essential in identifying possible issues that the retention department has missed or overlooked. They will also be able to look at the problem from a different perspective than the employees in the retention department. And finally, they will be able to look at past data to see if there are any patterns. Finally, the company will have no less than 4 retention officers. The retention officers will conduct interviews with all of the employees in the manufacturing department to better discover what some of the possible issues are. This will help the team a lot to understand why the employee retention rate is declining, and they will be able to offer the employees' thoughts on how to solve the problem. These employees will benefit the company by bringing insights and different perspectives to help with the employee retention rate decline. Company growth will require additional team members in order to maintain growth. The first hypothesis: if the company culture was more supportive, then the retention rates would continue to increase. This is the most probable outcome for the company. Company culture affects all employees, including management. Company culture being supportive is a positive hypothesis due to its supportive nature. The negative could be upkeep of the culture. Hypothesis number 2. The positive of this hypothesis is more satisfied employees. However, the negative could be the bottom line or final outcomes financially. Hypothesis number 3. The positive of this hypothesis is more income for employees, but the negative is less money for the company. And again, the bottom line is to stop the company from losing money. Another negative with raising employee salaries could be more expectations. Hypothesis number 4. The positive of this hypothesis is that if the company has more employees in the manufacturing department, they should be able to meet the company's demands. The negative is that the company will be spending more money for employees. Another negative is having more employees would increase the cost of production for the company. Now I will walk through the first hypothesis in my graph. In the first column, you have the hypothesis. Mine is clearly stated as if the company culture was more supportive, then the retention rates would continue to increase. In the second column is the variables needed to test hypothesis. The two variables for this hypothesis are company culture and retention rates. The third column is variable type, predictor/independent or creation/dependent. My two variables are both dependents as they are not fixed variables. My fourth column is data source. My first data source is interviews with employees, and my second data source is workforce management system. The fifth column is new data collection or existing data collection. My first data collection is new, and my second data collection is existing. The sixth column is function. For my function, I compare the retention rate of the last 10 years of employees who liked the company culture versus those who did not. My seventh column is data type. Both of my data types were nominal as they both compared one aspect to another. My first nominal was positive, employee interviews, and negative employee interviews. And my second variable was nominal, employees that stayed versus employees that left. The eighth column, which is the proposed interval inferential statistical test, I chose to use the t-test, as it is used to test only two variables. In conclusion, I have presented a solid analytics research proposal over the business challenges of employee retention issues within the manufacturing department.